Welcome back. This is game 3 from the Netrunner Metro Detroit Regional on August 17th, 2019. This is a NISEI era. We have, in this game, we continue the top 4, and I am the 4th person. So this is the first time on screen. This is the lower bracket final. I am on the left side playing AgInfusion. Austin is on the right side playing Akiko. This is an interesting matchup. We had this matchup earlier in the first round, and Austin won. I am just starting out, playing a hedge fund, ice on R&D. I know he wants to attack R&D, and I'm trying to use click trackers on the action itself. So you'll see that in the game going on. Austin sets up the artist. I set up just drawing my mandatory card, deciding what I want to do. I want to try to rush out a little bit, so I'm already gonna install an advance and see if he has a way to get in there. I want to get out an NISEI right away, as you would expect from Jinteki. On a side note, that large scab on my right hand is from trying to play ultimate and trying to dive for a catch. I didn't make it, just so it doesn't distract you wondering what it was. I just want to let you know. So let's see. Austin is running R&D. Sees size to 10, the new ice from Uprising. So you can see in action. I think I call event, if I remember correctly, in this one. I'm taking a little bit of time to think about what I want to do. I think I called event, so let's see if my memory serves me right. There's one event. Looks like Proco there. Third subroutine, another event. No, maybe I called program. It doesn't look like I'm getting any more. And then Akiko's ability is there's a side game for extra accesses. He finds a NISEI early on, and that looks like an IPO, which remains on top. So it looks like might have been first 2 clicks. And plays a mining accident. Oh, there's been a terrible accident, and I end up paying for that. Go out and score a NISEI. That should help me in the future. Actually, I think I end up taking the bad publicity, so I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if we correct that later on. All right. Looks like he found nanotech. Now we can attack R&D. Doing a side game again. I only have 1 credit to my name. Okay, now let's be a little bit to recover. Taking 2 credits in this case. I'm gonna get up there and probably defend R&D some more. Shaper is a matchup. Akiko, this Akiko deck just wants to get access, cheap access to R&D, and keep you fairly poor bidding into the side game. So right now it only costs net cost of 2. Looks like he's poking HQ to see if anything's accumulating there while I can't defend it in the remote. Okay, it looks like that's the secret tech. The Shaper matchup is the Navi Going back grid, take another bad pub. So getting that NISEI is being in a good spot, but being down with 2 bad pub, it's going to make it really difficult to defend against repeated runs. And I only have 4 credits still. I'm hoping to get some econ cards, a hedge fund, or a celebrity gift would be really useful. So defending HQ. Let's see, poke there. Might as well, if he has another mining accident, have him pay for the access. There's a Beth, not getting him a whole lot early on. I'm just going to keep clicking for some credits. Not where you want to be in, but slowly build up. Oh, looks like I also have the enough for the IPO. So this is a much better position to be in to score, push out the play that IPO in this at this point. Looks like Austin's taking some credits. Oh, it looks like calculating how much it is. So it's net cost of 1 and a side game for R&D. This time I'm paying to make sure he doesn't access anything. Just one access. See, let's see, have another mining accident. No. Lays down daily cast. Set up for the future. Okay, mandatory draw. See if I have more ice. But it looks like I'm just going to the remote. Doesn't have a whole lot of breakers now, so I'm going to push out another one. May not be able to get in. Might have a lot of agendas at this point. I'm just trying to clear out as soon as I can. Looks like that's misdirection. It's the one that makes you draw extra from successful accesses on R&D. So we'll get a lot of cheap accesses that way. So let's see how that works. See how lucky R&D is. Looks like it's a alt art Rashida. So 0-0. So you'll get that access. 2 more accesses. I think he. Okay, so he made me draw Rashida and then saw 2 more cards. I got lucky in that case. Didn't see anything. Didn't see an agenda. It looks like I have another hedge fund. I'm deciding. Okay, I do have another piece of ice for R&D. I'm stabilizing a little bit. I'm deciding whether or not what to do with that agenda. It might be an NGO in this case. Okay. Click Austin's drawing up, deciding what he wants to do. I think that's a Psych Mike and a Palangi. Okay. Let's be able to break the ice. Doesn't have a ton of credits. And it's a Nancy. That can get a little bit expensive for repeated runs. Getting down pretty low as well. I think I'm down to 4 credits at that point. So I try to stack up 5s, which are the white chips. And if it's singles, so if it's like 9 credits, would be a 5 as a stack and 4 splayed out like that. So it looks like it should only be 4 credits left. And I think I'm deciding if I want to use my NISEI counter. Okay, so it gets through. Oh yeah, I think he jacks out. doesn't have enough to get through Saisatan. And I think that a public, timely public release that I push out, and I have one more click left to push in the agenda. It's probably the Rashida I drew earlier. So I'm up 4 agendas, and I have a way to get ice back and to stop a run. Timely public release kind of becomes a weaker version of NISEI since this deck runs border controls. So okay, so Rashida gets me some much needed credits and card draw. Do have a fair amount of operation econ in here as well as NGOs. So hopefully there's enough there to help me bounce back from raising some expensive ice early. And Austin's fairly set up. He doesn't have all the breakers, but he does have Palangi and Nanotech, which can be pretty good. So putting in an upgrade in there along with an agenda might be another Rashida, might be the Navi Moonback Red. Could be useful against Palangi and SMC or in Clone Chip. It's kind of in this deck to fight against Surfer and SMC if I faced Shaper. So Austin's thinking about this. See if he wants to go back on R&D. It looks like he just takes credits. I don't res any of that, so it's not a Rashida. Might be an agenda that I'm slow rolling while I recover. I'm still on low credits. But it can get to the point where if I have enough end to run cards, I could stop enough runs with some cheap ice that they run out of clicks to be able to get in. So it could be Batty as well. Try and remember what I had in there. It's probably a combination of Batty and Navi. Might possibly be an Obokata. That's probably my next priority. So I'd only have to score 3 agendas. Looks like Austin's back on R&D. And has Inversificator. So he was able to move the Anansi over. Doesn't have that enough credit. Well, looks like he's down to 4 credits. Has access. This is the IPO. And then is bidding for the side game. Okay, I want to pay to stop it. So he only sees 1 other card. And it's drawing up. Let's see. Don't know. I don't think it's a Rashida. Not rising at the beginning of my turn. I think I'm deciding whether or not I build up that IPO. I think I have enough now for an IPO. There's a stack of 5. It looks like 3 credits. See if I want to do anything like install ice. Can't install ice on R&D and play the IPO this turn. Just taking a good think about it and see what it comes out to. I also want to avoid going over 15 credits because of Beth. I'll just take credit. This is setting up for probably my last chance at scoring agenda. I'm deciding if I want to res anything ahead of time. Oh, okay, just going for an advance, an IPO. So I'm at 13 credits. Austin just gets a card. Again, I have to discard one card. So he's going to check R&D. Okay, and I'm using AgInfusion for the first time this game, sending him to HQ. Deciding how he wants to break it. It gets pretty expensive with nanotech with only one ice. I think it might be. Oh, okay, he's using it with Inversificator. Making so yeah, it's an interesting matchup between Inversificator and AgInfusion. Just the placement of your ice is very critical, whether or not you have an ice you can send it to, while Austin tries to make sure that all the dangerous ice is behind a unres piece of ice. So that was a good placement on his part. Okay, now going for R&D. R&D is pretty helpful to me so far. Okay, paying to avoid a second access. Looks like still safe. And he's setting up for daily casts. May not be the right play at this point. If this is another agenda, I'm getting closer to the win. It may not pay out in time. Just showing the cards left. Looks like I only was able to see a Proco there. He had that since the beginning of the turn, so may not have had the opportunity to play yet. It's another ice on R&D. And it looks like I'm going for a second advance, either NGO or an Obokata. See how good I feel about the ice on there. If I have enough end to run and switches. So if I have a baddie there plus the NISEI, and if I have a way to get border control to end the run, I might have enough ender runs to keep him out, especially if he ends up running. But he's pretty low on credits at this point. Okay, it looks like he played Palangi and then makes a run, and it was an Obokata. So this is the lower bracket finals, and Austin's eliminated. And then up next is the first game of the grand finals. Thanks for joining us, and come back in a bit.